let's start from Parliament, because the minority in Parliament has served notice it will block the approval of budgetary estimate for the Electoral Commission. Leader of the caucus, Haruna Idrisu, tells Joy News the EC has failed to conduct continuous registration of voters who have turned 18 since 2021 and this year, which according to him violated the Constitution. The Special Budget Committee is expected to present its report today, but Haruna Idrisu says his side will resist the approval of the EC's budget.
The 2021 year group, 2022 year group are all being denied a lawful constitutional right and the right to vote, which is very significant to a democracy. And therefore, if the Electoral Commission does not come public, making a public announcement to allow those persons to register, especially when we have district assembly elections coming on next year, I do not see why we should be giving them approval. And more importantly, the Electoral Commission is now seeking to depend on the data of National Identification Authority. So why did they have to spend $80 million of taxpayer money compiling a voter register and stating that theirs will have eyelashes and an improved biodata regime? So why did they have to waste state resources on an exercise? And we still have difficulty appreciating the EC as an independent constitutional body and NIA under ministerial control. We simply will not accept the EC yielding onto an executive institution which is subject to the control of the president or a minister of state. Understandably, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission was in my office to serve notice that she may not be personally available to lead the commission to justify its budget because of a prior international obligation or travel, and therefore the deputies will stand in. We probably will consider their budget estimates tomorrow, but as a matter of a position, the minority will not support the approval of the budget of the Electoral Commission unless the Electoral Commission upholds the letter and spirit of Article 42. Persons who attain the age of 18 years in 2021 have not been given the opportunity to be on the electoral roll and to be registered as voters. Persons who attain the age of 18 years in 2022, so two cohorts, the 2021 year group, 2022 year group, are all being denied a lawful constitutional right and the right to vote.
Now, still in Parliament, and despite not having been paid for the last 15 months, the financial woes of the Office of the Special Prosecutor is deepening after Parliament put on hold the approval of their budget allocation. Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu alleges that the Special Prosecutor, Kisi Ejabeng, has made unconstitutional appointment to the office, and any allocation made to pay such persons will be unlawful.
There are matters which remains unresolved with their conditions of service. That affects item 1, the compensation budget of the Office of the Special Prosecutor. So what are we approving, Mr. Speaker, when you have the Ministry of Finance confirmed, and we are further told by the ranking member, and I believe the chairman, that the Special Prosecutor have not been paid for 16 months. 16 or 15 months. Yes, 15. Mr. Speaker, how can this happen? You see, so how do you expect him to survive? Are you not encouraging him to live on some allowances, which allowances may be unacceptable allowances, if he's not paid legitimately what he's due? The Office of the Special Prosecutor Act 2017, in particular Section 21, and that's my second reason why I say that this report should be set aside for further work by the committee with the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Mr. Speaker, we are told that when Kisi Ejabeng, the current occupant of the Office of the Special Prosecutor, assumed office, some officers who were recruited into the Office of Special Prosecutor were asked to proceed home, given this is the information we have. And then he appointed some persons into the office of the Special Prosecutor to facilitate his work as Special Prosecutor. Mr. Speaker, we are told that at the time that the office of Special Prosecutor made those appointments, there was no board so properly constituted under Act 959. It's for the board to determine matters, including appointment. So is it for the Special Prosecutor to appoint persons, or he is to do so in consultation or working with his board? I am strongly arguing that any appointment other than those done by the President be deemed illegal and unconstitutional, and therefore Parliament cannot be appropriating compensation for those illegal and unconstitutional appointments.
Now, Majority Leader Oseche Mensah-Bonsu raised some questions as to the validity of the claims made by the Minority Leader and criticized government for not paying the staff at the Special Prosecutor's Office.
The Special Prosecutor is our watchman, and the watchman must be watched. We need to provide him with adequate remuneration such that he will not be exposed and be tempted to be corrupted. If that should happen, Mr. Speaker, this nation will be in serious trouble. Certainly before we pass the appropriations, we should have a resolution of this matter, because it cannot continue to hang. Mr. Speaker, the other matter that was raised by the Minority Leader in respect of there being no board, and for that matter, the Special Prosecutor could not employ anybody, is something that really we need to dissect a bit, because it's informing us that some people had been employed at the previous Special Prosecutor who were rendered redundant by the new Special Prosecutor. Mr. Speaker, if his insistence is that there's not been any board, then how were they employed in the first place? I believe that a lot would also depend on the committee in seeing through the fulfillment of the promise by the Minister of Finance to have this done within 1 week. If the committee can assure us that it will be done, Mr. Speaker, I would entreat us to do the voting subject to the committee ensuring that there's fulfillment to this pledge. Other than that, with respect to the Special Prosecutor, Mr. Speaker, we may then have to stand that one down when we come to the Appropriations Act, because indeed it's an important office, and we must ensure that it runs efficiently and effectively.
Now, Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Asante joins us with details. Kweku, what was the agreement after the debate?
So the Minority Leader had his way. He was able to get consensus from his leader on the other side to put on hold the voting on the specifics of the budget of the Special Prosecutor. 269 million Ghana cedis, which has been allocated to the Special Prosecutor's Office, has now been put on hold, and it's not even expected to come in even today. And so, as you heard the Majority Leader say, next week they will be expecting to deal with the appropriation budget, and they can deal with it subject to the committee dealing with it. We can hear from the Speaker who deferred the question.
So those NGOs and the stakeholders.
Now, Kweku, do we know what else Parliament is dealing with today?
So just gone by, the Deputy Majority Leader, Alexander Fenyomakin, has presented the business statement for next week. We know that Parliament is expected to adjourn sideline on Wednesday, and by then they are expected to pass the appropriation. So far, none of the revenue measures, the bills, have come to the floor. The government is seeking to increase VAT by 2.5%. It is seeking to review the e-levy. All these are expected to come by way of bills to be amended and all that. So just go by also on the floor, Okudzewa Blakwa has been raising concerns about the censure motion against the health minister. There's a censure motion against the health minister that is also pending. He wants this to be dealt with as soon as possible. So the House is expected to consider some budget estimates for the various ministries and agencies before the agenda for today.
Okay, grateful that you could join us. That's our Parliamentary Affairs correspondent, Kweku Atsan, today. Now,